Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this episode 20 on Calmsden Farm with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, as you can see, it's early the next day, May 2nd. I have completed all our chores, and our loan is now down to 675. So we're making decent progress there. All that's going to be happening today on the farm is I'm going to take care of those two grass fields and get field grass in there. Last I checked, there were no contracts. We can go back and look again. Nope, no contracts. So I think I'll take care of that off camera. And if nothing else pops up, I will meet you at this time tomorrow. And we'll see what's up for June 1st. But I think you've seen enough plowing, rock picking, seeding, and rolling in the last couple days. So I'll take care of that off camera, and most likely see you on June 1st. So we'll see you then. Well, we're down at the shop. It is the next day. You can see it's June 1st, but it's later in the afternoon. That is because if we look, after I did the chores, there was a baling contract that popped up for hay in field 7. So I've gone and got that started. I've got the hay cut and windrowed and tedded, and I had to buy some equipment. As you may recall, a couple episodes ago, I went and sold off our round bale equipment that we were using for contracts. So I need to replace some of that. Um, one of the things I needed to get was the stacker, because we had a round bale stacker, so I had to get the square stacker. Unfortunately, the square one is twice the money of the round one. And I got us a loading fork, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, let's jump in here. We'll head to the field. As I also explained, I have a method I've been using, utilizing an autoload trailer that is a bit more realistic than just running around and grabbing everything with an autoload, which of course you can do. But if you're looking to do something that's a bit more realistic, this is what I've come up with. Can't see because of them trees. Now, in addition to the chores, I sold a couple loads of silage so that we didn't have to increase our loan for this equipment. I was kind of hoping something might come up used, but we had no luck there. Now, in a field this size, on a field this size, you could just run the bales up on the trailer, of course. There's not that many bales, but I wanted to kind of show this process. So we're going to go ahead. Oh my goodness. Little too close there. Oh, I see. It's part of the... Usually I can just run right up beside it, but you can see I've got the extra wide tires on here, so we're overlapping the pickup a little bit, so I just have to... Anyways, I'm going to run around and I'm going to get all these bales picked up. And once I have that done, I will bring you back in. So I'll see you in just a little bit. So there we go. And we happen to get 3 complete stacks off this field. Now there's roughly, I think it's 112,000 liters of hay in each of these stacks. So if we were to use the largest base game loading wagon, that would be 2 and a little bit trips in each stack to get this hay off the field if we were doing it loose. Now realistically in this case I probably would just haul this on the bale wagon to our farm because it's not that far, but I wanted to show this setup. So what I did is I brought down our telehandler, and you can see now I have this bale grapple on it. Now, this one is a little bit unrealistic in that it has straps, but there is a very equivalent type piece of gear under front loaders that has going up each side a claw that you can activate, and you can't get an adapter. I have used it on a telehandler with an adapter plate, but I saw this one was there with the straps and I didn't need to muck around with the plate, so I just grabbed it. And I did put one extra weight on the back here because it's hay. I think the telehandler will handle this all right, but if we needed to, we could double that up, and if it were silage, I probably would. This is a modded weight that you can find under the weight section. So there we go. And I've got the trailer set up here on auto load. Now, of course, I could have just run up by the stacks and picked them up, but like I said, I was looking for a way of doing it that's not quite as cheaty as that. So this is something you could do. So, oh, you know, one thing I forgot to mention is I also had, oops, wrong menu. I had to buy a tedder, and I'll show you what I used. It's a modded tedder. It says ELO tedder. You can find it under the tedder section. And what it does is it teds and windrows. So my mower obviously windrows the grass, so I run over it with that, and it leaves it in a windrow, so I don't have to windrow it up again. And it's only 7,000, so it's pretty cheap. Does the good job, but the really neat part about that is if you put the you can get those front loader attachers on pallets, and you can put that on the back of the Chrome Big M, and you can cut your grass and have it windrowed hay out the back all in one process if you want. And it's just those 3-point links that come on a pallet, but it'll go on the back of the Big M. Now we should be able to pick off a stack of 3 here. All goes well. It's the stack of 4 that gets a little bit tricky for the telehandler. A wheel loader would probably be a better tool for the job, but I wasn't going to buy a wheel loader just to show this telehandler. I have used it before. Not this particular one, but... Oh. There we go. So the only thing the only cheaty part then is that it stacks itself. Now if you're a good bale stacker, which I am not, you could obviously stack on your own, but that's what I like to do. Oops, a little too close. See how it handles the 4 of them. It's right on the edge. Like I said, with if we were dealing with silage, we want to have that extra 1,500 kgs on the back, I would think. Not seeing our tension straps go on. I don't think that. Oh, that part is working. So we can get 2 of these stacks on our trailer here. So that's, if you were to pick all that up loose now, we would be up to 5 trips to get all that off of the field with a loading wagon. So it's a pretty efficient way, I'd find, to move a large chunk of bales. And if you don't want to use, well, that would not work out. That would be a fail. As I say, it's a pretty efficient way to move a large volume of whatever grass or do this and see if it makes a difference on my tension straps. I'm still not seeing it. I've never used this before, so maybe there's a wee bug. Oh, it does seem to be holding them this time. Oh, I remember that. Whoops. The trigger only goes so high on top of the trailer itself. We need to bring it down the side. There we go. Yeah, I got caught on that a while back and just forgotten the trigger only extends so far on top of the trailer, so you need to put them down beside it. Well, this thing's working pretty good, except I'm not so sure about the tension strap part of it. But off camera I might do a test. Like I can't see straps, but maybe they're there. But I'm not going to dump these bales all on the ground. I guess we could. I'll do that after. So there, that's a complete wagon load. So I find a pretty efficient way to get grass off the field, and like I said, it's a more realistic method. Let's just grab see if these tension straps even are doing anything. Nope. But maybe I unfastened them. Let's try that again. Oh yeah, so they're not visible, but they are there. So it is working. Oh. Alright guys, well, that was it. That's what I wanted to show you. And I think that's how we'll be doing moving our hay here on the farm, or like I said, I might just leave it on the stacking trailer and run it up in a case of a field this size. Might be a little more efficient than doing this, but I have done some fields where I had 10 stacks I needed to move, and it was obviously way more efficient to make 5 trips with this trailer than 10 with the wagon. So that's what I wanted to show you. I'm going to get this transported. I think I'm going to sell off the hay. We don't need it. And we will, I'll just fast forward through the day here, see if there's any more contracts. And just, if there's not, just carry on with doing our chores, working our loan down until it's time to harvest. So I will see you at the next contract or the next harvest, whichever comes first. See you in a little bit. Well, good morning and welcome to July here on the farm. I did end up just fast forwarding through the second day of June. There were no contracts came up. I just did our chores. I did sell all that extra hay off for that baling contract we did because we didn't need it, and I put all that money to the loan. So we are now down to $630,000. The money for the chores yesterday and the fertilizer sale that happens the last day of the month, I spent. So our loan didn't go down anymore. Hey, but the good news, it didn't go up either. So, but I'll show you what I spent that on here in a little bit later today. But it's going to get busy again here on the farm. We have two of our fields are ready to harvest, our barley and our canola there to the north. We have two grass fields that are ready to be harvested. So we have that to do. We also had some new births overnight in our pig pen, so I've got to shuffle some pigs around, and I'm going to move the newborns down to the pasture and bring the juveniles up into the pen. That'll give us some additional yucky stuff to take to the BGA. Every little bit helps. And on top of all that, I picked up 3 contracts, harvesting contracts. Now what I did here is rather than sleep through the night, I just put it on fast forward and sat on the contract screen. And these came in, I want to say, I'm going to guess, because I was running at 360 times, around 3 in the morning. And I just grabbed them as soon as they came in. So I don't know if they would have been there if we'd have slept through the night or not. But that's how I managed to capture those. But anyways, first things first, let's get on to the chores, and then we'll get on to some harvesting. So I'll get these chores done, and I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Well, I've completed the chores, both for the BGA and our farm shop, and I'm down here at our pig pen, and I thought I'd just explain again for those who may have missed it the first time why I'm moving pigs around here. But if we take a look, in our pasture, we have now 40 pigs that are 2/3 of the way through puberty. So at this point, they're starting to eat a little bit more and they can contribute to the manure and the slurry for the BGA. Here at our pigsty, we have the 40 adults and the 40 new births. So I'm going to bring the new births down here to the pasture because they don't add much to slurry and manure and they don't eat as much, so I can just concentrate on keeping the main pig barn full. And we maximize the slurry and manure that we get. So that's what I'm up to here. I'm going to be moving these critters, whatever the trailer will take. I guess 9 it is. 9 at a time, back and forth. So I'll get that done, and then I'm going to meet you at the shop. It's time to reveal what I've been spending money on. So we'll catch up with you guys in just a little bit. Well, we're down here at the shop. Our chores are all done. Pigs are all moved. And it's time to reveal what I have purchased. A few episodes ago, I alluded to it. And here it is. Now this harvester came up used. It was, I can't remember, 62 or 67% off. It does have a few hours on it. As you can see, it's got 48 hours on it. But it was actually, the harvester was a straight trade for our Massey Ferguson, which only had 14 hours on it. So it was within $1,000. Now that doesn't include the repairs I had to do afterwards. And I should have noted how much that was, but I've forgotten now. But so I'm into it for the cost of the repairs. But this is where the extra cost was. I sold off our header we had for our case and our header trailer, and that covered only probably a little less than half of this large 40-foot header. But as luck would have it, when we needed this, happened to be the same day of the month we did our fertilizer sale, so that pretty much covered it. But meant we didn't pay anything off on the loan. So pretty nice upgrade to the farm. And that header being 50% wider and all the harvesting we need to do, gonna come in darn handy. So we'll head this up to the farm and put it to work. This 40-foot header could be a little fun to move around the map, but I think what I'll do going forward is I'll actually move it with a tractor, our small little utility tractor. I won't pull it behind the harvester because the tractor will be more maneuverable, I think, and work out a little better. We'll see if I get hung up or not. I was thinking for our fields, mostly we can work around the gates. There's other ways to get in, so we'll see how we make out on those contract fields. Could be interesting getting into some of them, but I'll let you know. This barley came just on time because, as you may recall, we had to buy a little straw, and the cows are, well, I think they're down to about 30% left in the barn, but they really could use some straw, and also we need it for TMR, although we're in pretty good shape there. We have a fair bit of TMR made. Sorry about that. That's kind of a poor view, but I just wanted to make sure I wasn't dragging the header through the crop. I think we'll saddle up about there. Now I just want to turn the help menu on. I want to make sure that we've got the straw swath enabled. Yes, sir, we're in good shape there. Well, the visibility isn't too bad even for in-cab work. So on some of these larger harvesters, it's kind of can be difficult to see the end. I'm just going to, excuse me, I'm just going to throw the barley and canola that into our main farm silo for now. And I'm going to do some calculations, and we'll distribute it out both to our pig food and our production. And if we've got any left over, well, we can sell it off. I think we'll bring the truck around to here, so it's a good spot to unload, because we're going to be full, and then we're going to have a hard time getting the truck to it without running over the crop. Whoa. Oh no, we're going to clear, but I think I'm going to have to... Oh, it just catches. Oh, we're right on the edge there. Should have put the combine in position first, I suppose, and moved the truck, but not what I did. Sweet. Alright, you know what I think we'll do is we'll do a time lapse of the rest of this harvest with this big guy at work. Well, there we go. Harvest done. Now, I'm going to apologize in advance for me, but you've already seen the result. I had a couple game crashes during that harvest, and I also realized that the time lapse is going to end up being too long. This is probably already going to be a longer episode, so I tried to cut something together. Hopefully it wasn't too horrendous. Of course, I haven't done it yet, but uh, anyways, so the machine worked pretty good. But for this episode, I think that's it, and we'll carry on right from this spot on the next one. So if you're still with me, I want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you found this entertaining or informative in any way, please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to see when other content like this lands, hit that little notification bell. But for this episode, this is Farmer Murphy, signing off. Till next time.